whatever you've been up to this day, this week, whatever it is will have laid some traces in your body. So just notice what they are, notice what you feel. Some traditions, they call this the residue, like almost as if you imagine that um, your body is like a house and it can get dusty because of, like nowadays, right now, where you are, notice if thoughts pop into your head. These things happen when we're alive. And notice what you're thinking about. And notice the nature of the thoughts. And notice where they came from. All of them are like a souvenir of where we've been. And the fact that we think is not a problem. It's not a bad thing or something to get over. But the yoga practice gives us a tool to sometimes allow the thoughts to not bother you so much. Because sometimes the thoughts can get you down, am I right? So I said that I was glad the sun came out for my lesson plan. What's really inspiring me this last week or so is there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, which I've been studying with my teacher, which basically says that this knowledge, like the yoga knowledge, it allows us to see through to the essential self within, which shines like the sun. And the thing is, it always shines. It's always shining in there. But we can't always see our own divinity because of some of the clouds, the dust, the stuff that obscures our vision. I hope that our practice today maybe a little bit can help us to let that inner light shine out. Very ambitious goals, but perhaps at least just make us feel a little bit more balanced. So to start that happening, let's walk the hands back forward again. And then keeping your feet and heels and hips where they are, start to creep the fingers forward quite a lot so that you can feel your hips coming over your knees. So the knees are going to unbend quite a lot, and we're moving into what they call anahatasana, the melting heart pose. What I quite like to do is my shoulders sometimes feel a bit tight in this position. I walk my hands a little bit wider than the shoulders, almost to the outside edges of the mat. Now, if you still feel any pressure coming down through the inner shoulder here, think about rolling the outer arm bones apart from each other. This is something that we want to do in downward facing dog also a little bit. Now, don't think that you have to go super far with this. It's only the second posture we're doing. So maybe keep the chin tucked. Maybe don't push to your absolute maximum. More instead, can we start to work with the breath? Can you start to feel that the breath moves not only down the way into the lungs, but also sideways, left and right, out into the rib cage, so that you can feel that these ribs are expanding left and right. Thinking about the breath in this way tends to be a way to breathe a little bit deeper, get into a 360-degree experience of the breath, but also I like to think of the side of the body as like the secret entrance. Because, everyone always looks at our front and sometimes our back, but they're not usually peering at our side body. So it's a nice intimate spot. So here, as you invite the breath in, let it be for only you. Okay, on an exhale, let's walk the hands slowly back towards you just a little bit, just so that we are back into like a table position. From here, we're going to reach the left hand up towards the sky, opening it up, opening up the rib cage, and then exhale, dive your left hand underneath the right armpit, left ear to the floor. So here I hope it's another position where we rotate the torso, we shift the torso, and try to ease the breath into a new part of the body where maybe it hasn't been yet today. So feel that you could breathe into the left lung, into the right lung, and in particular the space between the shoulder blades. Stay for one more exhale, press the right hand into the floor and open the left hand up. And then we'll swim the left hand down towards the floor and reach the right arm up. Exhale, the right hand will come underneath the left armpit as the right ear comes to the floor. I like to think of the breath as like a vortex which spins around. But always think about the breath moving deeper into your body, not as something that you're forcing in. Breath doesn't respond well to forcing. Think of it as an invitation. Stay for one more exhale. Soften into the shoulders, soften into the hips, soften into your back and your breath and your gaze. Then inhale, take your right hand all the way towards the sky, swoop it up, and then both hands will come down towards the floor and slowly lower yourself down. So the belly comes to the floor. Now walk your feet all the way away, press the toenails down to the floor. Now we're going to do a cobra pose 3 times. And as you do it, can we see if it's the breath that lifts us? So we press the feet down. That's the anchor. Then the front of the body lifts up, the belly up, the low ribs up. And then we start to expand the lungs so much that they push forward between the arm bones. And then exhale again to lower. Good. So twice more the same thing, pressing the feet down. Inhale, slowly moving the front of the body forward. Yes, lovely. Beautiful. Exhale to lower. We're already there. There's a moment where I can feel that we're already on a vibe and we're already there. Good. Again, inhale to lift. Exhale, slowly allow yourself to come back down towards the floor. Press the hands underneath the shoulders and come back into child's pose. Hands stay in front here. And your knees can be a little bit wider than the belly. That's totally cool. Now lift the center of the palm so your fingertips are pressing into the floor. And the arms are straight, so it's this long action. As you push the fingertips into the floor, your shoulders push, so your hips are going to move back towards the heels a little bit more. Feel like you curl your tailbone just a tiny tad too. Tuck the chin in and breathe into the back body. Okay, inhale, look forward, bring your shoulders forward over the wrists, spread the palms. Then tuck the toes and move yourself back into a downward facing dog. Keep a nice bend in the knees. Maybe you can have your feet hip distance apart more, maybe even more. Lovely. So we use a nice, exactly. So we're going to do what Pam's doing, which is bending really deeply into left knee and sending your right heel back towards the floor. So both feet are on the floor. Just extend. So the right heel is moving back. We're going to think about even the right hip moving back. So you're stretching all the way through the right hamstring. Then the left leg is going to bend. The right leg is going to bend and the left leg is going to go back, back, back. Left hip goes back. Same thing again, right foot. And then left foot. Good. Exhale. Then look forward. Inhale, step to the front of the mat, however many steps you'd like to do to get there. Then exhale to fold. Oh, damn. Okay, never mind. Inhale, take the arms all the way up towards the sky. Can't read my own lesson plan. It's okay. Exhale to fold. It's all good. Find a halfway lift, hands to the shins. This is maybe even better. And then exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Okay. Lovely. So think about what I said in this anahatasana position. Think about the arm bones moving apart from each other. And sometimes we can think about doing that and like forcing the shoulders away from each other, in particular if the shoulders don't feel very strong. All of you already look amazing, actually, but I'm experimenting recently about thinking about relaxing the shoulders laterally away from each other. Yeah. Keep that lovely length and space as you reach your right leg to the sky. Inhale. And now start to bend into the knee. Keep the shoulders as square as you can. And then start to roll into the right hip by moving a big circle with your right knee. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Good. So go in the other direction if you haven't already. So watch the shoulders, Sophie. Keep them nice and squared. Yeah. Then it'll be more in your actual hip. Might feel more in the bum as well. Yeah. Okay, inhale, reach the right leg back up towards the sky. And then exhale, we're going to go forward, step the foot between the hands, runner's lunge. Now this is one of my favorite positions, which seems really boring, but actually it's a real place to find good work. So what we're looking for here, and this is a good foundation for where we're going later, the squaring of the hips. So you can actually even give yourself a nice little manual adjustment, pull your right hip back, because sometimes it feels unnatural to do it. Kick your left heel back, and then feel like your belly, so your hands still stay on the floor, but feel like your belly lifts away from your thigh a little bit. So what we want to do is feel like creating a sense of spaciousness in around the hip. The chest reaches forward, forward, forward. Keep all of this, left hand stays down and the right hand up towards the sky, open twist. Yeah, towards the windows. Good. So don't lean too much back. Focus on squaring the hips. Good, nice, exactly. Focus on breathing deeply into the right lung. And then exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Okay, I forgot to ask this at the beginning, so this is going to be my nice secret way of asking this. If you would like, I'm going to think, everybody close your eyes. There we go. That's how we'll do it. Close your eyes, and if you are comfortable with assists, please lift your right leg to the sky. Okay. All right, cool, nice. Thank you very much. Consent is important. All right, so let's lift the left leg to the sky. Should have just said left. Apologies. Inhale. Now bend into the knee. Good. So we make the circles on the other side in the same way. Lovely, lovely. That's amazing, Sophie. Those shoulders are perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So it's not like there's actually an external thing that you need to aim for, but you'll feel that it'll give you more in the hip, which is what we're targeting at this particular point. Okay, inhale, reach the leg back up towards the sky. Long, long, long. Feel like someone's pulling your leg out of the pelvis, and that's what gives you the length. Exhale, go forward, step forward. Find that runner's lunge. Left foot between the hands, chest reaching forward. Good. So keep that, right hand down towards the floor, left hand opens up towards the sky. So open, yeah, that way. Good. Cool. Yes, good, Ellie, exactly. So what we want is this, I'm just going to do a wee hip thing right here. This one, yep. And see if you can hug everything into the center line as you do that at the same time. Fantastic. Take one more breath in, exhale, hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Okay, we're easing our way in here. Easing our way in, going slowly at first. Now we're going to put a little bit more pace into it. So exhale very much, let your belly empty out, all the way out. Take another breath in. Bend into the knees, exhale. Then look forward, inhale, come all the way to the front, feet to the hands. Find a fold, so bend into the knees as much as you'd like to. Belly come to the thighs. Let the weight come into the balls of the feet, so the toes. And then as your head like cascades down towards the floor, feel like your hips go up towards the sky more. Yeah, nice. Oh, yes. So much movement. Lovely. One bonus thing you could try here as well is feel like you could breathe into the back of the lungs. Good. Okay, stay for an exhale. Press the feet down, inhale, arms all the way up. All the way up, reach up, exhale, fold forward. Hands to shins, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, step back with the right foot, runner's lunge. So reaching the chest forward, forward, forward. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, we come forward into a plank. Like in the runner's lunge, the heels are reaching back, the chest is reaching forward. Exhale, chaturanga, we come halfway or all the way to the floor. Good. And then inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Nice. Good. So one more thing you could do here to give yourself a wee bit more strength is just to bend the elbows a wee bit. Yeah, not too much. And then the shoulders just move away from each other. Good. So that'll give you more strength in your arms over time. Yeah, you can feel it already now. Good. A 3rd breath here. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, bend into the knees. Look forward. Step your right foot between the hands. Runner's lunge. And then exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. There's this rocking forward into the balls of the feet. So we really talked about courage last week. This is what we're doing here. As you let the weight come forward, it's almost like you would almost fall, but you won't. Good. Let the weight come back across the whole of the foot. Inhale, arms all the way up towards the sky. And then exhale to fold. Okay, again, we're going to let ourselves be lifted from the inside out. Heart forward, halfway lift. Exhale, step back with the left foot. So the left foot goes back, but the chest is still reaching forward, the ribs shining forward. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Good. That's the exhale. Come forward, inhale, plank. Good. So keep looking slightly in front of your mat. Strengthen those legs, let's say up a wee bit. Yeah, good. Exhale, chaturanga. Can be all the way to the floor or it can be halfway. Lovely. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Beautiful. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's stay for 3 breaths here. So again, you could imagine the breath coming in sideways into the secret side door of your body. Maybe all the way around towards the back. So Ellie, you could think about breathing in here, where my hands are, making it full space. Yeah, lovely. Good. All right then, let's have one more exhale. Use the inhale to step forward with the left foot, runner's lunge. And then exhale, we step the right foot forward into a fold. Okay, so here, take your right hand in front of your right foot, left hand onto your left hip, bend your right knee deeply, and then spiral your left elbow to the sky. So your chest is going to reach to the sky. Keep your low belly toned if you can, and maybe you could even straighten your left leg a little bit more if you want. If it doesn't feel like it wants to go, don't do it. Then if you feel comfortable, you can reach your left hand up towards the sky too, so that your right hand is going down. Cool, so turn the hand back towards the shelves there, Max. Good. If you can feel like your shoulder is lengthening, then your arms reach. Oh yeah, look how much space. And then you can breathe in here. Good. So exhale, take your left hand down in front of your left foot, push onto the floor, then right hand onto right hip. So I like to do it in stages, so you can feel that it's the torso turning, the elbow points towards the sky, and then the arm. Good. So you turn all the way up, reaching the right hand up, up, up. Lovely. So we can soften here. Yeah, look how much more space you got in that shoulder. It feels better now, I bet. Amazing, amazing. Same thing here. So soften your neck. Good. So one thing I want to explore today, exhale to fold, is how much we can make more space by softening. Seems counterintuitive, but actually it's the real thing. Press your feet down and then inhale, take the arms all the way up towards the sky. Take a hold of your right wrist and take your right foot behind your left one, like a little curtsy. So if I do it the other way, so we'll look like the same. So you're doing your right side, I'm doing left. Then push down into your right heel and pull on your right wrist, going that way. Aha, cool. Now you can maybe lean back a little bit so you get more into the right lung. Let's go with it, whatever. Okay, and yeah, that's right. And then soften your shoulders and soften your jaw and soften your throat and see if the breath can come in a little bit more. Exhale, take the hands down. Uncross the feet. Take your left foot behind the right. Take your left wrist with your right hand. Reach up and over to the sides. It's like a good morning stretch. You should feel like, opening up through into the left lung. Good. Yawn is a sign that it's working. Good. Lovely. Okay, take one more breath in, then exhale both hands down alongside your waist and feel the after effect of just opening up these lovely secret sides. From here, keep your right foot forward. We'll step the left foot back. So we're going for Trikonasana. First of all, reach your arms and then feel like you're lifting up out of your pelvis. So legs are straight, yeah. Legs are straight, but there's going to be a kind of bend in that your arches of your feet are lifting. So you're not locking into your joints, but you've got a sense of mobility that comes up through the center of the foot. Take the hands onto the hips now, please, and feel that you could feel the front bones and the back bones of your pelvis, right? And now here, what sometimes happens, I don't think any of you are doing it, but I just want to like accentuate it. Sometimes we get this thing that I call the sass. I am not guilty of it at all. Yeah, no. What that does a lot is you can kind of see even by the clothes, it closes off the hip. We want to feel that that right hip is lifting up. And as we go forward, so we're going to take your hands parallel with the floor again. See if you can keep the space that we've generated there. So we're going to go forward, forward, forward. Feel like there's a lovely little in your jeans pocket. Damn, you're not wearing jeans today, because imagine your jeans pocket had a little baby frog in it or something. And you're protecting that baby frog even as you take your hand down and then the left hand up towards the sky. This way. Yep, exactly, good. Nice. How's your baby frog, Leslie? Is it still okay? I just made that joke that basically that you've got a baby frog in here, you're protecting it as you go down, so they're not going like this, right? Because if I show you, this is like the most common Trikonasana. People go, oh, I have to get my hand to the floor, so they crush into their hip. But what I want you to do is feel this up and over sensation, the ooh-ah-ah sensation, if you will, in the hip, keeping it open. Lovely. So it's not about doing it right or wrong, it's just about feeling something. Good. Okay, keep that as you reverse. So left hand comes down left leg, right arm up and over. And again, we're lengthening the right side of the hip, right side of the ribs. So not too far down, we're just lengthening because the left side of the waist still wants to be open. Okay, exhale, bend into your right knee. You might want to lengthen your stance a little bit. And reach your right hand forward, forward, forward. Keep that space as much as you can as you take your forearm onto your knee. Here, reach your left hand directly up. Nice. So we're doing this motion a lot today of taking the arm up. And I want you to feel that your arm is going and out of the... So I did it to a couple of you just now in the folds. The arm reaching up. And it's going to reach up out so much that you get loads of space. You turn your palm back towards the window and see if you can reach around to your low back. But as we do it, we haven't crushed into the shoulder. Same thing as the hip. We've maintained the lovely spaciousness, the integrity. So then you can start to lean back with the left shoulder. Your feet still press strongly into the floor, the belly toning, so that you wouldn't fall over even if someone came rushing at you. Here you can just take so much breath. If you've got long arms or loads of space, you can see if you can get all the way around to the outer right hip and maybe even grab along to the thigh. Main thing is that you've got this length through the spine, the left shoulder reaching back. As you inhale, let's release it, come up and out. And then exhale, both hands come to the floor. On the inside of the right foot, the back heel lifts. So your hips are going to be square. So take your foot a little bit wider, Max, to the outside edge of the mat. It's going to look like this. So we're on the inside. Whoops. So this is called lizard pose, where you've got the knee almost coming to the shoulder. And it's going to be a nice preparation for where we're going later. And also, I'm basically in the next few weeks, they're going to build on top of each other. We're going to go from one crazy pose to another. Yay. Okay, good. So reach with the chest. Then exhale, place the knee down onto the floor, the left knee, and pull your right hip back, half Hanuman. So here, think that your tailbone curls gently underneath you. That's going to help us target the middle of the hamstring, which is what we want, as opposed to the top. Then, again, feel like you could create space between your belly and your thighs. So the chest lifts. Yeah. And then think about chest going forward towards your shin. So everything is still open and plenty of hamstring opening happening. Okay, take a breath in, then exhale, come forward, downward facing dog. Great. So pause here. Notice the difference in sensation between the two legs, maybe the two arms. Then slowly we'll take a walk to the front of the mat. Again. Nice. So exhale to fold. Then inhale, come all the way up to stand. Left foot's going to face forward still, and the right foot's going to step back. So we prepare for this Trikonasana first, triangle pose. So you can take your hands onto your hips and feel that your left hip is lifting. That this little space here, just underneath the hip, is going to be spacious. And keep that as you go forward. So it kind of makes you want to go, oh, like you've got a parachute underneath your armpits. That's what we want. Yes, exactly. And then right hand to the sky. As you get the right hand to the sky, you feel like your right heel drives into the floor. Lovely, 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 lovely. The spine is getting longer the more you breathe. Pardon me. Exhale, look down. Inhale, reverse Trikonasana. So right hand down, right leg. Making even more space. Then exhale, bend into the left knee. And again, seeing if you're going up and over with that rib cage. So your left forearm comes to the left knee without going down into collapsing state. And then the right arm goes directly up. Good. So reach up, 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 and then turn the hand back and see if you can go to the low back or maybe even all the way around to the thigh. Lovely. Good. So both heels still stamping down. Lovely pelvises, no butt sticking out. That's great. Right shoulder gently easing back. So again, if you soften, so you won't fall because I'm here. This, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So don't turn around, but lean back here. Yeah. So much space. Beautiful. Okay, inhale to come back up, release the arms. And then exhale, both hands to the floor, lizard. Both hands on the inside of that left foot. Here, like the runner's lunge, we're looking to square the hips, so left hip back, chest forward. Take an inhale or two. And then exhale, right knee to the floor, come back, half Hanuman. Nice. So I like to temper this. I tore my hamstring attachment once upon a time doing a sit pose like this. So I like to think about the tailbone coming underneath. And then a chest going forward. As opposed to pulling yourself as far as possible. Feeling like a gentle lifting the pelvic floor is going to protect you at the bottom. Okay, inhale, come forward. Let's step it back. Downward facing dog. That's the exhale. On the inhale, let's come forward into a plank. Good. Legs strong the whole time. Lower bending the elbows, chaturanga. You can come to the floor or you can hover halfway. Pull yourself forward, cobra, or up dog. But let it be the lungs, the inhale that opens you up. So spread the collarbone so much. Lovely. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, let's build on this. Lovely square shoulders. Inhale, take your right leg to the sky. So if you press into, put your hands back where they were. Put your foot down for a second just while I talk to Max. Press into the, so think about gripping the mat like this. So not the fingernails, but the pads. I know it is sticky, but you're wanting to like feel like you've got the power in your hand here. It's better. Okay, right leg to the sky. Inhale. Sticky, I mean slippy. Exhale, the other right. Good. Exhale, step forward between your hands. We'll meet in the warrior two. So back heel comes to the floor, and then we come up and around. Warrior two. Nice. So again, we're going to get rid of this sass right here. So lift that right hip up. And then find this, like right here, maybe if you've got a seam on your leggings, maybe not. It's the outer edge of your leg. Just feel that it's on. So bend into your right knee nice and deep. Good. Lovely. Good. Feel like you could create, Amy, a bit more momentum coming this way with your knee. Exactly. So everything else stays exactly the same. It's a long stance there. You feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Lovely. Do you want to lift the arch of the foot? Yes. Yes, see that? That's what I wanted. Nice. Beautiful. So reach, 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 reach. We're going to reverse, inhale. And as you reverse, you can feel that that leg is on. Then exhale, options. We can go forward onto the knee like we just did, or you can go forward. See how much space is here? We've got our air balloon underneath the armpit. Right hand can come all the way to the floor on the inside of the knee, if you can reach. If you don't fancy that, you can keep your forearm on your knee. That's cool. So bend into the right knee, Leslie, a little bit more. You'll get the hip. Here we'll do exactly the same thing. Opposite Sophie, unbend the knee a wee bit. So you want to get 90 degrees. Not because it's perfection, but because that will just give you a more stable place to be. Same thing with the hand. Left hand reaches up and then back, binding at your low back or maybe at the outer hip. Good. So let's bend this. Tell me if to piss off at any point, okay, Max? Right? So lean back, yes. Arm directly like there. Yes. That feel a wee bit better? Yeah, I hope so. Cool. All right, so if you've got your hand bound all the way around to your outer hip, here's where you can see if your right hand and your left hand can meet behind you. We go for a bind. It's strong in the legs. Yeah, take a wee break. Wait, is it the knee you feel? Okay, it's the hip then. So what you want is to maybe shorten the stance. Don't go down so low. You don't want the knee to go in. You want to ask it, please, to turn more to the outside edge. Because then, as your knee points to the second toe, there will be less pressure going through because you want your kneecap to be aligned with your quad and your shin bone. And that will mean less pressure on the things on the outside edges. Try it if you fancy. Or don't go as far. Okay. Good. So don't let that hip swing out, drop it under. Does that feel better?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, good. Let's come out of it. Don't push it. Good. Come back up. Let's exhale both hands to the floor. Lizard. Same thing. Exhale left knee to the floor and pull it back. So don't push it to your limit like I did in my youth. Come back forward, a downward facing dog. Okay, cool. Also here, right, I've started to notice patterns, not just in you, but in all my teaching. There are things that help us to, if you lift this arch, so keep the heels on the floor as you had, but see if you can lift the center of the foot. What that will do is help the knee be stacked in the right place, because the muscles will switch on. So that's something we'll look at that in the Warrior 2 in a minute. Hello. That's a nice way to say hi to someone. Okay, cool. Take your left leg to the sky. Inhale. Good. Exhale, go forward. Let's go through into Warrior 2. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about this Warrior 2 and what I said to Leslie about the inner arch of the foot. Very common thing that happens in Warrior 2 is your knee goes in like this. That way. Boop. Right? And what we want to do is hug it. Now, even hear me showing this right now, I can feel the pressure on the inner knee because it's just not supposed to go quite in that direction. There's lots of joints, bones in the knee joint. So what we want is the knee to go that way, not all the way out, obviously, but to be stacking, pointing towards the second toe. One of the things can help with this, obviously feeling like you're dropping the butt under, but also lifting the arch of the foot. Because when you collapse into the arch, notice I collapse to the arch, watch my knee. Ooh. So, anatomy lesson. Good. Reverse inhale. And then your choice, either the forearm on the knee or all the way forward for the full thing. Right hand to the sky. Great. Okay, good. So let's reach the right arm up, bind it around to your low back, and if you like, out to the outer hip. If you've got space, you can make the hands bind behind you. Stamp into the heels to lean back with the right shoulder. And breathe into the right lung very much. Okay, lovely. Exhale, left hand to the floor. Inhale, open up, or not to the floor, but just release. And then exhale, both hands on the inside of that left foot. Reach your chest forward, lizard pose. And then exhale, right knee to the floor, half Hanuman. All right then, inhale, come forward and step back, downward facing dog. Okay, so we're going to continue opening up into the hips. One more fun little transition, different from our regular vinyasa. One of my favorite ways to travel around the mat. We use the breath, the waves of the breath, to capture momentum. So what we're going to do, bend into the knees, bend, 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 and that's the exhale. On an inhale, we'll look forward. On an exhale, we'll empty out even more. Then on the inhale, see if you can take your feet to the outside edges of your mat at the front. Like a froggy thing. Good. Nice. We'll land in Malasana. So the same thing applies. Cool. Malasana is kind of like a double. Do you remember we did this recently? I think I even said at the time that this is just half of this, right? And this is a deeper bend, but we were creating a similar external rotation to this. And a similar, I'm saying all this boring stuff because a similar useful action in Malasana is lifting the inner arches. Because watch the knees. So if you want to create more space in your outer hip so that your knee has more space, see if you can press into your heels and your outside edges of your feet. Good. Now close your eyes. Let your tailbone drop. And inhale, trace the whole of your spine, lengthening up out of the pelvis. Yes. Here it's like this. In my kitchen I have blinds, beautiful wooden blinds, not beautiful, but they're blinds, which I like. And when the sun comes in the morning, the sun shines in making striped patterns on the walls. Now as you breathe, that inhale creates so much space inside that it bursts out through your ribs like light that shines out. Okay, take one more inhale, then exhale, sit yourself back down on the floor, right from here. Take your right foot in towards you and your left leg out to the side, and then bend into your left knee. Now, take your left arm, reach it up towards the sky, and then exhale, go forward, forward, forward. You don't necessarily have to get the foot. I'm more interested in your shoulder and your knee making contact. So bend your knee as much as you need to do that. From here, reach your right hand up towards the sky. Lift, 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 just like we did with the arms in all these standing postures. And then if you like, you can stay with this, or you can take the hand to the back of the head and lean back. Maybe see if you can open up the right side of the body more. Stay for 3 breaths. Feel like each breath could unfurl you a little bit more. Know that with each breath, you're moving tissues apart. You're creating space where there was dustiness. All of the residue of your day and all the thoughts and everything else is left behind. It's cleaned out, cleansed out, and burnt out by the warmth of the sun, the warmth of your inner light, of your breath. Take one more inhale as you reach your right hand up towards the sky. And then exhale, fold with both into the middle. Inhale, let's walk the hands back up and swap over to the other side. Okay, so we bend into the right knee. Right arm reaches. So think about this space that we made with the hip all the way, shoulder to the inner knee. Your elbow can rest on the floor. And then take the left arm up towards the sky, reaching all the way up. So do the reaching first because it'll give you more space. If you want to take your left hand onto your head, that's cool. And point the left elbow to the sky even more. Now the hand on the back of the head creates a lot more density and it feels like a bit of a tighter squeeze. But then that means that as you deepen your breath here just a little bit, as you soften the breath into your rib cage, maybe it means that you can clear out some of the stuff that's holding you back. One more inhale to reach the left hand up towards the sky. And exhale, take both hands down in front. Okay, walk yourself back. Let's take both feet in. And now, we're going to say hello to your left foot. So, take a hold of your foot and give it a little sugar waggle. Do you do with Nicole Janushirshasana ABC, all three of them? So the third one is the one where you put the toe on the floor like this. No, maybe not. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to know, because this is the way that you would get, or I always do it to get into Janushirshasana C. It's like, so Janushirshasana A is this one. The first where you get the foot beside the leg and then you fold. And then there's two more variations of it that you add on afterwards, which is the first one sitting on your anus with your heel. You're blocking the energy flow. That's like what you have to do. It's yoga stuff. And then the third one, it's all like getting deeper into the hip. So eventually you'll maybe look at it if you're curious, and that you get the toes to the floor, and it's like opening up. Eventually in the further series there's like 2 feet. I can't do it. Anyway, so the way to get into it is we're getting into the hip, right? So what you want to do is have the hips square on the floor, and then be pulling your knee back towards your armpit. Eventually there's a cool posture which is like this, where you're like talking on the phone on your foot, which I like. Hello, I do this with my daughter. Who's there? So yeah, anyway, the pelvis is fixed on the floor, so it's not going like this, if you see what I mean. But then we're relaxing into the hip, like it's floppy. Then take your foot into the right crease of the elbow, and then the knee into the left elbow crease. So we've got like a little baby. That's what it's called, rock the baby, this posture. Good. All right. So again, we're not moving the pelvis together with it, but seeing if that can be fixed. It's like what I said to you about the shoulders and the hips when we're fixing it, and then you can feel that you're actually moving into here. Now, here's where we go a little bit nuts. See if we can take a hold of this foot with both hands, and then we hold behind the ankle, the Achilles, and use that as like a lever to lift it up super high. So you can roll onto the right hip to make it easier, and see if you can get your knee up over your shoulder. Then we take the right hand onto the outer left foot. Then we take the left hand onto the floor. And then we extend the left leg. Yeah, nice. So this is a variation. It's basically like, it's similar to what we did this in motion-wise, which is why we did it. Nice, exactly. So what we want to do now, this pose is called sundial pose, because it's like we did at the very beginning, and this is where my imagery comes back in. Your heart, like the sun, turns up as much as possible. So feel like you're pushing your rib cage. Give it a try. Lovely, Amy, lovely. So I don't care how straight your leg gets, but the more you can rotate your chest out. Oh, it feels so good once you get it. Oh, yes. Lovely. Look at that. Fantastic. Good. Amazing. Release. Good. Does it feel nice? Yeah. Whew, that was my next question. That's the feeling, no. That's what we were going for. Goodbye, residue. Okay, let's take the right foot. Hello. She's 2. She's 2, yeah. No, yeah. She could, of course, yeah. But it's interesting, like, I was with this great teacher that Nicole also was with over the weekend, and he said we were doing hips with him, and he was talking about as you get older, because we've got a lot of older ladies in our studio, like over 60 and stuff. Yeah, they're amazing. There's a woman, Susan, who used to teach the art school, actually, and she's 61 or 2, maybe, and she can get both her legs behind her head. Practice. You know, have you seen like the Instagram, like, people ask me how I can do it. It's like, you're so perfect. Practice. That's her. She practices every single day, and she has done for a long time. Okay, so we've done that gently easing of the knee out towards the side. And then we do rock the baby. So this is like what we do. We are shifting the hip this way and then this way, gently, like we're not just like doing it without thinking. See if you could feel that you're making more space in this hip. All right. And so then we take a hold of the foot with both hands and then hold on with the Achilles or behind the calf. It gives us like good thing to lift up. And then it goes up and back a wee bit so you can get it over the shoulder. Yeah, your arm needs to be underneath it. Exactly. Good. Then you take a hold of the outer right foot with the left hand. Take the right hand to the floor. And this hand is going to push. Because as you push, your arm lifts. And as your arm lifts, it extends your leg. And then you can turn around towards the side. This makes me think I know how cats feel, you know. Lovely. Do you feel like Tam does? Sorry to interrupt. You had the feels. Do you feel even just a little bit of like, oh, okay. We have a very nice chill ending. I'm just recording it to go online. That's all. It's been a long day. Okay. Let's cross the shins, come back into downward facing. Oh, no, wait. Cross the shins, exactly. No more vinyasas. Stay right here. Then take your fingertips just onto the earth. And lift yourself up. Lift up the shoulders. Lift up the chest. Then let the arms come all the way up. And then exhale, fold forward right down the middle. So it doesn't have to be very far. Use your hands to support you. But then bow your head just so that the chin comes in towards the chest. Nice. Amazing. So here again, feel that your shoulders could relax away from each other. Feel like your tailbone can relax down into the floor and your knees relax away from your hips. I know that this position means it's not totally easy to relax them, but within the bounds of this posture, can you let that happen? Lovely. So stay for an exhale. And then slowly start to walk your hands back up towards you. Here, take the hands behind you so that you can roll back, like tuck your tail under so like you're curling your low back. That will make it easier to remove the legs. And then let the knees go left and right. So we'll do that here. And then also lower all the way. You can use your hands down towards the floor through a curled back. And then take your hands out alongside you as your soles of your feet stay on the floor. The same motion with the knees. So that let the legs go left and right and left and right. And maybe you could pause all the way on one side, letting your knees, for example, go to the right and your gaze to the left. Soften your jaws and let the teeth part. Maybe you could rest your tongue at the space behind your top teeth. This is a classical like meditation position for the tongue because it lets it be quiet. And just let the breath be soft and gentle. Gentle undulations. Let the knees point back up towards the sky, and then move over to the right-hand side, gaze to the left. The other way around. Knees to the left, gaze to the right. And let the knees be weighty. Inhale to take your knees back up towards the middle and let your pelvis settle so that it's balanced, left and right sides, right in the middle of the mat. Here, let's extend the legs long to the front. So we're not quite going to Shavasana yet. One more thing before we do that. Take the feet over towards the right-hand corner of your mat. And we're going to cross the ankles on top of each other. This is called Vinyasa, which is a great name that even I didn't make up. It's the name. The elbows go into the floor and the shoulders move over to the right-hand side as well. And here, if you like, you can let the arms drape overhead. If that feels okay for the shoulders, you can definitely keep a nice bend in the elbows. Hold on to the wrist if you like and take your gaze down towards your feet so that your chin tucks in towards your armpit. Here, see if you can relax your left hip to the floor a little bit. See if you can just allow the breath to move into your left lung a little bit more. Here, you don't need to make effort anymore. It's a yin style practice, this posture, which means that now that we've set the body up in the position, we just release effort. I really like these yin postures and this yin practice because it teaches you that you don't really need to do anything to already be the way that you should be. Not that you should be, that you are, that you can shine out exactly how you are. You can relax your body, be exactly as you are. So stay for one more exhale. See if you can soften the body even more. And then release the arms down, take the feet back through the middle. And then walk them over towards the left-hand side corner of your mat. Now, same thing. So the ankles cross there. Shift your shoulders to the left too. Take the arms overhead. Relax your right hip. Relax your gaze. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Soften your belly. Find one more last breath in, and then as you exhale, let the arms drape down alongside you. Take the feet back through the middle. If you fancy one more little bend of the knee in towards the chest, you're very welcome. And then let the feet come out to the outside edges of the mat. Palms face up, shoulders tuck underneath you. And here you don't have to do anything else. This is it. The clouds have cleared. The sky is blue, inside and out. And your inner light can just shine, warm and soft, like the evening light.
I think if I could get you to do one thing, I would say when you get to the point that you really feel highly motivated to just towards keeping your virtue, then you'll discover quite quickly just how extraordinary a life was meant to be and could be. And it's just we get so messy. It's not that we're doing lots of wrong things, but our mind is so messy. We don't keep it simple, and we end up making the life that we're living so inordinately complicated, completely unnecessary. And it's such a shame to end up feeling in a real muddle when actually you ought to be having the time of your lives. It doesn't actually take very much to make the deepest part of us incredibly happy. You know, just to be here, just to appreciate being here, to feel that you're alive, be in touch with your heart. That's it. That's it. It takes mindfulness to come through human life. And then above that, it takes mindfulness and virtue to come to a fortunate human life. The chance to be part of this happens briefly. The invitation is not to show how inventive and imaginative you are, but how much you can notice what you're already part of and appreciate it and share it. And care about those that are around. Look out for their welfare while you're looking out for your own. That's it. And then you'll get to the end of it having had a awesome time, knowing that that was something you'd recommend to others. You all know this place inside where it's all right. You all know that when you let the ego go, it's not this black hole. You all know it. Why can't you? You know, the world is creaking under the strain of this enormously complicated mass of humanity. actually, it's really simple. When you came here with a sense of awe and wonder, dying to just see what it's all about. It's like, what would it be like to be down here? Be part of it. And you came here with this sense of wonder, and somehow the wonder of it wasn't enough, or you stopped wondering at it and started wondering about yourself. And in your wondering about yourself, you forgot what you came here for, what you came to be a part of.
Slowly allow your breath to start to deepen again. Let your inhale expand from the center of the heart all the way out to the shoulders, the elbows, the fingertips. From the belly, across the hips, to the knees, to the toes. Out through the top of the head, the ends of the eyelashes. Let your breath shine out of you completely. Let the body's softness allow you to be so light. Slowly allow movement to come back to fingers and toes. Maybe turn the head left to right. And if it feels nice to do so, reach the arms overhead and point the toes away, finding a long stretch. When you're ready, draw the knees in towards the chest and roll over to the side. And then use the hands to press back up to sit, drawing the palms. We'll close the practice with the sound of Om just once. We'll take a breath in together. And exhale out the mouth. Again, inhale together. Om Shanti. Thank you. Go about your life. Have a nice evening. Let the light shine, as they say. Nah. It's gonna play a really naff song about the sun, but I'm not gonna. Let's have this instead.